गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is um, it is Thursday, 26th of December. It is Pausha Masa or Narayana Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Ekadasi Tithi. So today is the Sapala Ekadasi, so fasting from grains, beans, cereals, and all kinds of grains. And also it is the disappearance day of the great devotee named Devananda Pandita. So we shall read few lines above from the each event. So from the Ekadasi perspective, so we shall read about the Sapala Ekadasi. So this is the Yudhishthira Maharaja said, "O my dear Lord Shri Krishna, what is the name of the Ekadasi that occurs during the dark fortnight of the month of Paisya? So how is it observed and which deity is to be worshipped on that sacred day? Please narrate these details to me fully so that I may understand, O Janardhana." The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, then replied, "O best of kings, because you desire to hear, I shall fully describe to you the glories of the Pausha Krishna Ekadasi. I do not become as pleased by sacrifice or charity as I do by my devotees' observance of full fast on Ekadasi, to the best of one's ability. Therefore, one should fast on Ekadasi, the day of Lord Hari. O Yudhishthira, I urge you to hear with undivided intelligence the glories of Pausha Krishna Ekadasi, which falls on Dwadasi as I explained previously. One should not differentiate among the many Ekadasi. O king, to benefit humanity at large, I shall now describe to you the process of observing Pausha Krishna Ekadasi. So Pausha Krishna Ekadasi is also known as Sapala Ekadasi. On this sacred day, one should worship Lord Narayana, or he is its ruling deity. One should do so by follow the previously described method of fasting. Just as among snakes, Sheshanaga is the best, and among birds, Garuda is the best. Among the sacrifices, the Ashwamedha Yajna is the best. Among the rivers, Mother Ganges is the best. Among gods, Lord Vishnu is best. And among two-legged beings, the Brahmins are the best. So among all fasting days, Ekadasi is by far the best. O foremost of kings, who took your birth in the Bharata dynasty, whoever strictly observes this Ekadasi becomes very dear to me and indeed worshipable by me in every way. Now please listen as I describe the process for observing Sapala Ekadasi. On Sapala Ekadasi, my devotee should worship me by offering me fresh fruits according to time, place, and circumstances, and by meditating on me as the all-auspicious Supreme Personality of Godhead. He should offer me jambira fruit, pomegranate, betel nuts and leaves, coconut, goa, varieties of nuts, cloves, mangoes, and different kinds of aromatic spices. He should also offer me incense and bright ghee lamps, for such an offering of lamps on Sapala Ekadasi is especially glorious. The devotee should try to stay awake the Ekadasi night. Now please hear with undivided attention as I tell you how much merit one gets if fasts and remains awake throughout the entire night, singing and chanting the glories of Narayana. O best of kings, there is no sacrifice or pilgrimage that yields merit that is equal to or better than the merit one gains by fasting on the Sapala Ekadasi. Such fasting, particularly if one can remain awake and alert the entire night long, bestows the same merit upon the faithful devotee as the performance of austerity for 5,000 earthly years. O lion among kings. So please hear from me the glorious history that made this divine Ekadasi famous. Once there was a city called Champavati, which was ruled by the saintly king Mahismata. He had four sons, the eldest of whom, Lumpaka, always engaged in all manner of very sinful activities, illicit sexual encounters with the wives of others, gambling, and continual association with known prostitutes. His evil deeds gradually reduced the wealth of his father, King Mahishmata. Lumpaka also became very critical of the numerous devas, the empowered universal attendants of the Lord, as well as toward the Brahmins, and every day he would go out of his way to blaspheme the Vaishnavas. At last, King Mahishmata, seeing the unrepentant, brazen, fallen condition of his son, exiled him to the forest. Out of fear of the king, even compassionate relatives didn't come to Lumpaka's defense, so angry was the king toward his son. And so sinful was this Lumpaka. Bewildered in his exile, the fallen and rejected Lumpaka thought to himself, my father sent me away, and even my kinsmen do not raise but a finger in objection. What am I to do now? He schemed sinfully and thought, I shall sneak back to the city under cover of darkness and plunder its wealth. During the day I shall stay in the forest, and as night returns, so shall I to the city. So thinking, the sinful Lumpaka entered the darkness of the forest. He killed many animals by day, and by night he stole all manner of valuable items from the city. The city-dwelling folk apprehended him several times, but out of fear of the king, they left him alone. They thought to themselves that it must have been accumulated sins of Lumpaka's previous births that had forced him to act in such a way that he lost his royal facilities and became to act so sinfully like a common selfish thief. Though a meat eater, Lumpaka would also eat fruits every day. He resided under an old banyan tree that known to him happened to be very dear to Lord uh, Vasudeva. Indeed, many worshipped as the demigod, representative of department head of all the trees in the forest. In due course of time, while Lumpaka was doing so many sinful, condemnable activities, the Sapala Ekadasi arrived. On the eve of the Ekadasi, Dashami, Lumpaka had to pass the entire night without sleep because of severe cold that he felt due to his scanty bedclothes. The cold not only robbed him of all peace but almost of his very life. By the time the sun rose near dead, his teeth chattering and near comatose. In fact, all that Ekadasi morning he remained in that stupor and could not awaken out of his near comatose condition. When midday of the Sapala Ekadasi arrived, the sinful Lumpaka finally came to and managed to rise up from his place under that banyan tree, but with every step he took, he stumbled and fell to the ground. Like a lame man, he walked slowly and hesitantly, suffering greatly from hunger and thirst in the midst of the jungle. So weak was Lumpaka that he could not even con- concentrate to nor muster strength to go on kill even a single animal that whole day. Instead, he was reduced to collecting whatever the what fruits had fallen to the ground of their own accord. By the time he returned to his banyan tree home, the sun had set. Placing the fruits on the ground next to him at the base of the sacred banyan tree, Lumpka began to cry out, Oh, wow, woe's me! What should I do? Dear father, what is to become of me? Oh, Sri Hari, please be merciful to me and accept these fruits as an offering. Again he was forced to lie awake the whole night without sleep. But in the meantime, the all merciful Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Madhusudana, had become pleased with Lumpaka's humble offering of forest fruits, and he accepted them. Lumpaka had unwillingly observed a full Ekadasi fast, and by the merit he reaped on that day, he regained his kingdom with no further obstacles. Listen, O Yudhishthira, to what happened to that son of King Mahismata when but a fragment of the merit sprouted up within his heart. As the sun beautifully rose in the sky on the day following Ekadasi, a handsome horse approached Lumpaka as if seeking him out and stood next to him. At the same time, a voice suddenly boomed out from the clear blue sky saying, This horse is for you. Lumpaka, mount it and ride swiftly out of this forest to greet your family son of King Mahishmata, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva and the strength of the merit you acquired by observing Sapala Ekadasi, your kingdom will be returned to you without any further hindrances. Such is the benefit you have gained by fasting on this most auspicious of days. Go now to your father and enjoy your rightful place in the dynasty. Upon hearing these celestial words resounding from above, Lumpaka mounted the horse and rode back to the city of Champavati. By the merit he had accrued by fasting on a Sapalekadasi, he had become a handsome prince once more and was able to absorb his mind in the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari. In other words, he had become my pure devotee. Lumpaka offered his father, King Mahishmata, his humble obeisances and once more accepted his princely responsibilities. Seeing his son so decorated with Vaishnava ornaments and tilak with the Poundra. So King Mahishmata gave him the kingdom and Lumpaka ruled unopposed for many, many years. Whenever the Ekadasi came, he worshipped the Supreme Lord Narayana with great devotion. And by the mercy of Sri Krishna, he obtained a beautiful wife and a fine son. In an old age, Lumpaka handed his kingdom over to his son, just as his father, King Mahishmata, had handed it over to him. Lumpaka then went to the forest to dedicate his concentrate attention to gratefully serve the Supreme Lord with controlled mind and senses. Purified of all desires, material desires, he left his old material body and returned back to home, back to Godhead, attaining a place near the lotus feet of the worshipable Lord Sri Krishna. O Yudhishthira, one who approaches me as Lumpaka did will become completely free of lamentation and anxiety. Indeed, anyone who properly observes this glorious Sapala Ekadasi, even unknowingly, like Lumpaka, will become famous in this world. He will become perfectly liberated at death and return to the spiritual abode of Vaikuntha. Of this there is no doubt. Moreover, one who simply hears the glories of Sapala Ekadasi obtains the same merit derived by one who performs a Rajasuya sacrifice, and at the very least, he goes to heaven in his next birth. So, where is the loss? Thus ends the narration of the glories of Pausha Krishna Ekadasi or Sapala Ekadasi from the Bhavishya Uttara Purana. Ekadasi ki jai. Okay, so that is about Ekadasi, and there is another event is the Devananda Pandita's disappearance day. So this is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela. So Devananda Pandita was a professional reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam, but the mercy of Vakreshwara Pandita and the grace of the Lord, he understood the devotional interpretation of the Bhagavatam. So in the Chaitanya Bhagavata Madhyakanda chapter 21, it is stated that Devananda Pandita and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's father Visharada lived in the same village. Devananda Pandita was a professional reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like his interpretation of it. In the present town of Navadvipa, which was formerly known as Kuliya, Lord Chaitanya showed such mercy to him that he gave up the Mayavad interpretation of Srimad Bhagavatam and learned how to explain Srimad Bhagavatam in terms of bhakti. Formerly, when Devananda was expounding the Mayavad interpretation, Srivas Thakura was once present in his meeting, and when he began to cry, Devananda's students drove him away. Some days later, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed that day, and when he met Devananda, he chastised him severely because of his Mayavad interpretation of Srimad Bhagavatam. At that time, Devananda had little faith in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna. But one night, sometime later, Vakreshwara Pandita was a guest in his house, and when he explained the science of Krishna, Devananda was convinced about the identity of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus, he was induced to explain Srimad Bhagavatam according to the Vaishnava understanding. In the Gaura Ganyadeshi Deepika 106, it is described that he was formerly Bhaguru Muni, the Sabha Pandita, who recited Vedic literatures in the house of Nanda Maharaja. Okay, again, so there is again further pastimes of Devananda Pandita. So he also, when there was kind of procession, so a dog was accompanying, so he fed the dog throughout the procession, and then in such a way he has delivered the dog as well. Uh, okay, so that is from Chaitanya Charitamrita and Devananda Pandita's disappearance day. Okay, so that is from the event's perspective. We shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami speaking to Parikshit, so about what has happened between the Supreme Lord and Brahma, the conversations. The Lord spoke to Chatushloki Bhagavata to Brahma and then asked Brahma that, oh Brahma, you always remember this particular truth. Etan matam samatista paramena samadhina bhavan vikalpeshu na vimuhiti karhitet. You will not be bewildered by my illusory energy at any point of time. And then the Lord has disappeared from the vision of Brahma. So Sampadisya evam ajano jananam parameshtinam Paschitah tasya tadhrupam atmano nirunad harihi. So while Brahma was watching, so the Lord has disappeared after explaining all the tadrupam atmano and that form, the transcendental form of the Lord. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami mentioned to Parikshit. So now, what has happened to Brahma now? Sukadeva Goswami further saying that, so after Lord has disappeared from the vision of Brahma, Brahma with his folded hands, and he was offering his obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. And then he started to create this uh, living entities as like it was before. So there are so many kalpas in a Brahma's day. So like we have got in a month, we have got 30 days. Likewise, Brahma has also got 30 days. Each has got a kalpa. Each daytime is a kalpa. And night time is the kalpa and vikalpas. So there are names of the kalpas and vikalpas as well. So he started to create the universe as it was before. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami saying, speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9, verse number 39. अन्तर्हितेन्द्रियार्थाय हरये विहिताञ्जलिः सर्वभूतमयो विश्वं ससज्जेदं स पूर्ववत् अंतर्हित इंद्रियार्थाय अंतर्हित इंद्रियार्थाय on the disappearance indriyardhaya unto the supreme personality of Godhead, the objective of all senses, indriyardhaya haraye vihitanjalihi, and with so he has done with folded hands offering his obeisances. Vihita Anjalihi, with folded hands unto Haraye, unto the Supreme Lord. He was offering his obeisances. Antarhita Indriyadhaya Haraye Vihitanjalihi. And then after that, Sarvabhuta Mayo Vishwam, Sarvabhuta Mayo Vishwam, and all living entities, Mayo Bhutam, the full of Sarvabhuta Mayaha Vishwam. So this universe, he has created so many living entities. सर्वभूतमयो विश्वम ससज्जेदम सब पूर्ववत. So sasajja, he created idam, this universe, sab purvavat, sa, that Brahmaji, exactly like it was before. Sarvabhutamayo vishwam sasajjedam sab purvavat. So antarhita indriyadhaya haraye vihitanjalihi sarvabhutamayo vishwam sasajjedam sab purvavat. The translation for this verse. On the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, who is the object of transcendental enjoyment for the senses of the devotees, Brahma with folded hands began to recreate the universe full with living entities as it was previously. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Hangma Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari is the object for fulfilling the senses of all living entities. Illusioned by the glaring reflection of the external energy, the living entities worship the senses instead of engaging them properly in fulfilling the desires of the Supreme. In the Hari Bhakti Suddhodaya 13.2, there is the following verse. Aksnoha phalam Twadrishya darshanam hi tanuphalam dvdrisha gatra sangha jiva phalam dvdrisha kirtanam hi sudurlabha bhagavata hi loke. O devotee of the Lord, the purpose of the visual sense is fulfilled simply by seeing you, and to touch your body is the fulfillment of bodily touch. The tongue is meant for glorifying your qualities because in this world a pure devotee of the Lord is very difficult to find. Originally, the senses of the living entity were awarded for this purpose, namely to engage them in the transcendental, loving service of the Lord or that of his devotees. But the conditioned souls, illusioned by the material energy, became captivated by sense enjoyment. Therefore, the whole process of God consciousness is meant to rectify the conditional activities of the senses and to re engage them in the direct service of the Lord. Lord Brahma thus engaged his senses in the Lord by recreating the conditioned living entities to act in the recreated universe. This material universe is thus created and annihilated by the will of the Lord. It is created to give the conditioned soul a chance to return home back to Godhead, and servants like Brahmaji, Naraji, Vyasaji, and their company become busy with the same purpose of the Lord to reclaim the conditioned souls from the field of sense gratification and return them to the normal stage of engaging the senses in the service of the Lord. Instead of doing so, that is, converting the actions of the senses, the impersonalist began to make the conditioned souls senseless and the Lord also senseless. That is improper treatment for the conditioned souls. The diseased condition of the senses may be treated by curing the defect but not uprooting the senses altogether. When there is some disease in the eyes may be cured to see properly. Plucking out the eyes is no treatment. Similarly, the whole material disease is based on the process of sense gratification and liberation. From the diseased condition is re engagement of the senses to see the beauty of the Lord, hear his glories, and act on his account. Thus, Brahmaji created the universal activities again. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here, in this verse, Antarhita Indriyadhaya Haraya Vihitanjalihi. So Prabhupada, in this particular verse, Indriyadhaya, Hare, this is the Antarhita Indriyadhaya. Prabhupada is stressing this particular point to explain this purport. So this objective of the transcendental, so here, this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, who is the object of transcendental enjoyment for the senses of devotees. Indriyadhaya. That is the point. And then here on that point, the entire purport is dedicated to explain. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari is the object for fulfilling the senses of all living entities. He is the master of all the senses. Rushikesha. He is the master of the senses. And whenever we engage all our senses, Rushikena, Rushikesha Sevanam Bhaktiruttama. That is the bhakti. Engage all the senses in the service of the Rushikesha. And illusioned by the glaring reflection of the external energy, the living entities worship the senses instead of the engaging them properly in the fulfilling the desires of the Supreme. But what we do, we enjoy for ourselves instead of engaging the senses into service of the Lord. So that is kind of a diseased condition. So here in the Hari Bhakti Subhodaya, So this is Akshnoho Palam. And so this is the what is the ultimate benefit of the eyes? Akshnoho Palam Twadrusha Darshanam Hi. Twadrusha Darshanam Hi. When we see the beautiful form of the Lord with our eyes, that is the ultimate perfection of the eyes. Akshnoho Palam Twadrusha Darshanam Hi. And what is the Tanoho Palam? What is the use of the body? Tanoho palam. That is Twadrusha Gatra Sangaha. When we touch our body with the devotees of the Lord. So like the washing their feet and worshipping Him and giving them asana and washing their feet, something like that. Arghya, Padhya, those things. And then Jihva Palam Tadrusha Kirtanam Hi. Jihva Palam. What is the ultimate perfection of the Jihva, the tongue? Twadrusha Kirtanam Hi. When we glorify the Supreme Lord. So that is why we have got every Wednesday. This is the Kirtan evening. Glorify the Lord through different bhajans and kirtans. Jihva Palam Twadrusha Kirtanam Hi. Sudurlabha Bhagavata Hi Loke. And devotees who engage in these senses like that, such kind of devotees, Bhagavatahi, they are Durlabha, very rare to be found in this world. He definitely, certainly, Loke in this world. Sudurlabha Bhagavati hi Loke. So likewise, Hari Bhakti Subhadaya describes the devotee of the Lord. The purpose of the visual sense is fulfilled simply by seeing you, and to touch your body is the fulfillment of bodily touch. Uh, The tongue is meant for glorifying your qualities, because in this world, a pure devotee of the Lord is very difficult to find. So this is the example of Ambarish Maharaj as well. So he has engaged all his senses. Savai manah Krishna padara vindayoho vachamsi vaikunta gunanu varnane karo harehe mandir majnadishu sritim chakaratchita satkatodhaye. The mind is always thinking of the Krishna, lotus feet of Krishna. Savai Manah Krishna Padara Vindayoho. Vachams Vaikunta Gunanuvarane. He talks only to speak about the Supreme Lord. Vaikunta Gunanuvarane. Glorify his qualities. Karu Harehe Mandir Madhyanadishu. His hands are used to cleanse the temples. Karu Harehe Mandir Madhyanadishu. Srutim Chakara Achyuta Sat Katodaye. And the ears, the hearing capacity. Srutim Chakara Achyuta Sat Katodaye. To hear the glories of the Lord. And also his eyes and his legs and all of his body. Tadgatra Sparshenga Sangamam. Tadgatra Sparshenga Sangamam. Tadrasanam. So, and also the sense, the tongue also is to taste the tulsi leaves offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, and also smell the aromatic smell coming from the lotus feet of the Lord. When the tulsi leaves are kept at the feet of the Lord, a different fragrance also comes, that is to smell. So likewise, and also all the desires only to fulfill the desires of his devotees. In such a way, Ambarish Maharaj has lived as an example here. And originally, the senses of the living entity were awarded for this purpose, namely to engage them in the transcendental loving service of the Lord or that of his devotees. But the conditioned soul's illusion by the material energy became captivated by the sense enjoyment. So from the childhood, if we observe our children, though we are sometimes giving good instructions, do not do this, don't do this, don't do this, but still they wanted to play the games in the phones or wanted to watch the TVs, play in the laptop, something like that, watch different kinds of things. These are all sense gratification, because if we do not engage a mother and father or do not engage them in the devotional activities, it will be they will go in a wrong direction. So that is called sense enjoyment. But it is very difficult for them to bring back the children into devotional service. That way it keep on growing. If they do not have any knowledge of Krishna consciousness in the family, in that set, they are completely absorbed in the all mud of activities. It is very difficult. So therefore, the whole process of God consciousness is meant to rectify the conditioned activities of the senses and to re-engage them in the direct service of the Lord. But it is only fortunate thing is they have to come in contact somewhere or other with the pure devotees of the Lord. So they will give enlighten them, and the devotionals they will give Krishna to them. The process of devotional service through which they can attain Krishna. And then two, that is the re-engagement. By re-engagement, they will be completely purified. And Lord Brahma thus engaged his senses in the Lord by recreating the conditioned souls to act in the recreated universe. So this is his duty, the job appointed for him to create the living entities. And this material universe is thus created and annihilated by the will of the Lord. It is created to give the conditioned soul a chance to act, to return home back to Godhead. And servants like Brahmaji, Naradaji, Vyasaji, and their company become busy with the same purpose of the Lord, to proclaim the conditioned souls from the field of sense gratification and return them to the original state of engaging the senses in the service of the Lord. This is the purpose. So we all this Brahmaji, Naradaji, Vyasaji, and all so many of our Vaishnava Acharyas, the Guru Parampara, they are existing only for that purpose. जनस्य कृष्णाद्विमुखस्य दैवात् अधर्मशीलस्य सुदुःखितस्य अनुग्रहैः चरन्ति नूनं भूतानि भव्यानि जनार्दनस्य. The living entities, they were, they are all separated from Krishna. They forget about Krishna. But here, the devotees of the Lord, they canvas about Krishna, speaking about Krishna, Krishna Katha, so that they will get a chance to hear, through which uh, they will be liberated from this diseased condition of life. The diseased condition is until at the moment, what is the disease means? Engaging the senses in the sense gratification. That is the diseased condition. But there are different stages. So immediately we cannot free those senses from the material entanglement. That is called a liberation. But until one gets liberated from the materialistic activities, it needs a treatment. What is that? Is the chikichitam, tapatriya chikichitam. So this is also Narada Muni says to Vyasadeva, Etat samsvitam brahman tapatre chikichitam yedishware bhagavati karma brahmani bhavitam. When we engage our activities in the devotional service of the Lord, it is a treatment, chikichitam, tapatre chikichitam. It will subside the threefold miseries of the material world, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, Adi Adhyatmik. Adi Bhautik is the uh, problems comes to the material body, automatically internally to the material body. Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, uh, and Adi Adhyatmik is the body pains to the internal to the body. Adi Bhautik is pains coming from external to the body, like the mosquitoes, family and friends. They give the troubles to the body. That is the Adi Bhautik level. Adi Adhyatmik level, internal to the body, like the internal diseases, fevers, kind of thing. This is Adi Adhyatmik. And Adi Daivik, it is kind of natural calamities. Such kind of, they will trouble the living entity in different dimensions. The always it is tormenting, but the living entity, he thinks that he is enjoying. As soon as he thinks that he finds some solution to hide from it, but he thinks he is enjoying, but he is always tormented by tapatriyas. So for this one, tapatri chikichitam. Until he gets the liberation, he needs the chikichitam, the treatment. Also, it is mentioned the aushadi, bhavaushadi. What is bhavaushadi? Is the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is bhavaushadi. So here, all the devotees of the Lord Brahmaji and Naradaji, Vyasaji, they're all in the same purpose, to give a chance for the living entities to free themselves from the diseased condition. That is the Tapatre Chikichitam. And then this is Amayo Yasha Bhotanam Jayate Yena Suvrata. Tadevi Amayam Dhavyam Na Punati Chikichitam. Because the living entities, they are conditioned and got diseased by the uh, sense gratification. Amayo yasha bhutanam, these diseases. Amaya means diseases. Yasha bhutanam, for all the living entities. Jayata yen surata, because of that condition, they took different kinds of bodies and experiencing these pains and pleasures. And when we are offer Tadevihi Amayam Dravyam, whatever the activities they are doing, if they offer all of those things to the Supreme Lord in the devotional service, Tadevihi Amayam Dravyam, that will becomes Dravyam. Dravyam is a thing, so that Napunati Chikichitam, it will be acting as a treatment for it. Napunati, so why can't it act as a Dravyam, that is as a medicine? So that is what Narada Muni says to Vyasadeva. So this is also Prabhupada has given an example. If we drink too much of milk and then if we have got some kind of indigestion, then he will be given a treatment that to give the yogurt as a treatment. If he eats yogurt, then that disease will be cured. So both are coming more, both are milk products only, but one is because of excess of eating, he is a indigestion, and for that one treatment is the again the similar kind of thing made from the milk yogurt that will become as a treatment. So that is the chikichitam. And here this is the is to give a conditional soul a chance to act to return home back to Godhead and servants like so they're all working busy with the same purpose to chikichitam, to treat the living entities, to reclaim the conditioned souls from the field of sense gratification and return them to normal stage of engaging the senses in the service of the Lord. So instead of doing so, that is converting the actions of the senses, the impersonalists began to make the conditioned souls senseless and the Lord also senseless. So this is the another different angle of impersonalist into the how they understand the absolute truth. Actually, everyone are having the complete spiritual bodies and the spiritual vision, spiritual senses to engage them in the service of the Lord. But here, treatment of the impersonalist is the improper treatment for the conditioned souls. So if we go to the doctor, if he says I have got some leg pain, if he cuts the legs, and if I say hand pain, he will cut the hands. That is not a treatment. So this is kind of the impersonalism. So they will the diseased condition of the senses may be treated by curing the defect, but not uprooting the senses altogether. When there is some diseases in the eyes may be cured to see properly. Plucking out eyes is not a treatment. Similarly, the whole material disease is based on the process of sense gratification, and a liberation from the diseased condition is re-engagement of the senses to see the beauty of the Lord, hear his glories, and act on his account. Thus, Brahmaji created the universal activities again. So, this is the main purpose. So, here, um, for this purpose, Brahmaji also has given all kinds of Vedic kind of processes. Brahma asujat prumukato Yushman Atma Pradiptaya. So Brahma has created all these things in the beginning. This is the tapasya and also Vedas and every Vedas in this he is the Veda Garbha himself. So keeping Vedas uh, he is the embodiment of the Vedas as well. Veda Garbha Ma Veda Garbha Gartandri Sarga Udhyamam Avaha Tvanmaya Paditam Hegre Yanmam Pradhete Bhavan. Brahma was praying, how do I create? Then the Lord has appeared that, O Brahma, O Vedagarbha, so I have fulfilled your desires before when you are doing your penances itself. So everything will come into but bhuyastum tapatista vidhyam chayo madashim. But you engage yourself in the austerities and penances, you carry out this creation. Everything will come in the perfect sense, in perfectly. Likewise, the Lord says to Brahma, and Brahma he creates. This is Chandomay Hatapo Vidya. All these things Brahma has given to all of us. Okay, so in order to create again all this Varnashrama Dharma, this is Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras, it is coming from the Varnashrama Dharma created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But here Brahma's function is to give the material bodies to the living entities. So living entities, they are eternal, but here Brahma's duty is to give 8.4 million different bodies to the living entities according to their conception. What is the consciousness? If their consciousness of just animalistic consciousness, they will get the animal body. If you like a devotee consciousness, they will be take birth in the demigods section of living entities like that. But all senses is only to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to see the beauty of the Lord. He's to hear. This is the Madvishna Darshana Sparsha Puja Suti Abhivandanaihi Bhuteshu Madbhavanaya Satven Asangamena Cha. That is the purpose. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam. So these are the purpose of the senses, not for otherwise. Otherwise, it we need to see that it is a diseased condition. Unless we offer it to Krishna, we do not eat anything. Whatever the activity we do, first of all, we think of Krishna, and then only we carry out that duties. Okay, likewise, Prabhupada is describing engage all the senses in the devotional service of the Lord. Prabhupada stressed at that point, apart from Brahma engaging himself into create the universal living entities again. So this is the verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Antarhita Indriyadhaya Hare Vihitanjalihi Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam Sahajedam Sapurvavat. Just as it was before, he started to create universe like that with offering his obeisances unto Lord Hari. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, we shall quickly move to Srila Prabhupada as a daily letter. Okay, so today it is related to Radha Madhava Sharan, June 6, 1970, Los Angeles. Okay, can I request any unallocated devotee to read this letter, please? Or any devotees? Yes, Mataji, please.
Okay, Prabhupada. Dear Sri Saranji, please accept my greetings. I beg to thank you for your kind letter dated 28th May 1970. I am so glad to receive a letter from a 70 years old young man. Sometimes they say about me 74 years young holy man, and sometimes they say jet age Parivrajacharya. They also very kindly have written that I have done magic to the foreigners. So I thank you all for your good wishes. Although I am not eligible for this book honors, whatever is being done, it is Lord Krishna's mercy. He is unlimited and his mercy is also unlimited. So by his mercy, even a crow can dance like a peacock. Things are going here nice. The younger generation is taking very serious interest, and whatever advancement is made, it is due to their cooperation. They are taking seriously to the Sadacharya process. Good behavior. The thing is that his country is not poverty stricken. So, after material opulence, the natural tendency is for something which is better. That better is spiritual enlightenment. The leader of these countries could not deliver that better thing to the hankering souls, and such as some of them have become frustrated and confused. Now, having received this transcendental message of Bhagavad Gita as it is, they are feeling relieved. So there is very good possibility of advancing this movement, and I am so glad that you are ready to offer your cooperation in this connection. I have advised my secretary to send you immediately a copy back to Godhead, and I am getting also many demands book, the Krishna book. I think in future you will be able to get this book from Atmaram and Sons, first box 1429, Kashmiri Gate, Delhi 6. Regarding your cooperation, I have got many things to ask from you, but because you are a 70 years retired man, I do not wish to overburden you. For the time being, if you kindly help us by sending some goods from Vrindavana, just like some chanting beads, some brass murtis, gopi chandana, tilaka, and similar other things. I understand that you have got business in Allahabad. So if your sons and grandsons that can supply us Banarasi dhoti and saris from Banaras as well as some brass utensils from there, this is one thing. Besides that, next year I am connect, contemplating to send a word Sankirtana party. Therefore, I wish to have a nice place in India, either in Vrindavana or Prayag Sangam. So I shall be glad to know if you can help us in this connection. Thanking you once more for your kindly letter. Your Yours very sincerely, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from here?
No, so Prabhupada, that Saranji is saying that you are such a holy man, and then you do this, and even though you are very old, but then Prabhupada is saying, this is all Krishna's mercy. Whatever he is saying is not for me, but is Krishna's mercy. Even if we get a Krishna's mercy, the person can do anything. And then he's giving the example like a crow can dance as a peacock. So that all about the Krishna's mercy. And he said that now younger generations are taking very seriously interest in Krishna consciousness and giving um, like showing their good behaviors and yes. And other things is Prabhupada is asking because you are that if you help us about that you are from Allahabad, so if um, can get some send some brasses utensils and brass murtis and he's asking Banarasi dhotis and saris also if they could help for that and yes, so now the all the countries are getting that Bhagavad Gita's message and it's like a good advancement for that connection with the Krishna. So yeah, and yes, the word Sankirtana party is they telling about and he wants to open like a nice place in if he gets the Prabhupada wishes is a place in Vrindavan or Prayag. So if there is anything, then he is like to know about that connection. Oh, yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter? Hangma Mataji, wanted to add any points?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Mataji has also nicely explained, and the thing is, um, Srila Prabhupada, he's always so humble that he does not, he feels that he's not eligible for accepting the honors, and he is, and as mentioned, it is because of the Lord's mercy that uh, that the mm, that they are. It is because of Lord's mercy that the Krishna consciousness is spreading nicely, and younger generation is also taking serious interest. And also, there was a point, he mentioned that in Western world, as they are already materially fulfilled, so since they are not poverty stricken, their main focus is not like earning, and so the next basic need would be to advance spiritually. And since the government could not deliver that, so um, the Krishna consciousness movement is what the souls really needed. And yes, Prabhuji. And then that's it, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other points, dear devotees? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So in this world, everything is there and everything is going on. Karmana Daiva Netrena. All activities are going on by the divine supervision only. And by the mercy of the Lord, everyone, when a crow can dance like a peacock. Yeah, and everything is there already. Lord has supplied everything, but only the thing that is lacking is Krishna consciousness. So that is the purpose of the devotees to go wander around the world and then give canvas about Krishna consciousness, about Krishna Katha. It is a chance. Janasya Krishna Vimukasya Daivad Adharmasela Surikidasya Anugrahayeha Charanti Nonam Bhotani Bhavyani Janardhanasya. That is the purpose of the devotees wander around the world. And also here Prabhupada is engaging, he wanted to engage him, not only because somewhere or other he is come in contact with Prabhupada. Again, to engage him in some kind of service, Prabhupada is mentioning that to send some items like that. It is not a huge work. Collect these items from so he is also a businessman. It is not difficult. But when he is engaged that one in devotional service, in service of Krishna, he will be benefited. Okay, so that is Prabhupada is trying to engage him. But engagement is the very important thing, because engagement, hearing is also one engagement. Because I do not have to sing today, and I do not have any service today, like saying or singing and doing Mangalachan prayers. That does not mean that one should avoid the hearing also. Hearing is also one service. So somewhere always in the engagement. Okay, and also asking for the
Hare
place.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I think it was mentioned about how you will actually propagate these youngsters by introducing Sankirtan in the community. So it not only to engage them, is also to inject some enjoyment through Sankirtan movement. I think I heard something about that. To create that spiritual advancement, they need to engage in the joy of Sankirtan movement. So singing and dancing and entertaining in the same, enlightening in promoting the joy of our movement is the only movement that actually sing and dance and enjoy in that way.
Yeah, this is
Publicly, I mean.
This is what Prabhupada mentioned as Sankirtana movement here, and
In
then
World Party, yeah.
other one is this is the people of this country. They could not deliver the better thing for the hankering souls, such as some of them have become frustrated and confused. So when they receive the message of Bhagavad Gita, which is of having all the joys and doing kirtan and eating nice feast like that.
Mm. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Krishna book reading at 8 p.m. with Sham Gudwada Prabhuji and Ramana Prabhuji. And another point on the Nasimha Chaturdasi, so that for the booking, Abhishek booking, so we have booked that one. So we are now collecting the contributions. It is in the process. As soon as that, if we have got contributions, then those things will be gradually complete. There are 4 different kinds of services we have taken. We render those services. Okay, so that is from the updates perspective. It is now on and it is live. Contributions, devotees, you can do the contributions there. I'll share the statement in a week or 2 weeks time. Okay, that's all from me. Update side. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates you want to share, anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share.
So, Prabhu, that contribution, is it one donation and you will actually divide them into 4 or what? How does it work? You just give or individual contribution?
We are just going as a one single contribution, or devotees can do in multiples, like every month 10 pounds, 20 pounds, something like that for next 5 months or so. So Goshala is not important, immediate, and also Zoom subscription is also not immediate. And but Abhishek's there needs to be booked. So Manar booking is done, and then this Mayapur booking is to be done. So this is the 500, 500, and then 150, and then 250. These are the 4 things, around 1400.
So the 2 are the priority, yes?
Yes, Mataji, yes.
So it's a separate one. Later on is the separate one. I
Yes.
thought it was one donation and it has got put together. And
Yes, so if what devotees do one donation, that is fine. So we are going collecting all these 4 services as a one chunk, and then distribute. But this is how the distribution goes.
oh, I see. Okay. So it will be decided not by us, but whoever is doing it. We haven't got to stipulate where it goes.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, we don't have to stipulate it. So if it
Okay.
is distributed for these 4 services, even if devotees give 1 pound, it will be distributed to 4 services. Consider.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So what happening in Mayapur? Like what?
There also, actually, we thought of the same amount for Nasimha Abhishek in the Mayapur also, but it is
Okay.
around 400, sorry, yeah, 4,000 pounds like that. But we don't want to contribute that much, and not want to, but it is too much for us. So we have taken a little bit of it, so just 500 pounds only, some part of it, to take part in the Nasimha Dev's Abhishek.
I think they are opening next year, isn't it? In
Yeah,
Mayapur.
it is the May 11th, 2015, 2025.
Yeah, I've been to there. It's really nice.
Yeah. Any, Meena Mataji, you have been on the pilgrimage, you wanted to share anything?
Yeah. Like as you said, like God mercy, like anything happen, like it's everything. So I managed to do like Char Dham, like every Char Dham Yatra, Vrindavan, like Choriyasi course, then Ayodhya, and then Tirupati Balaji, Dwarka, and like Srinathji, like Nathdwara then Ronsol, like there is a Dakor. So yeah, so many. And I also managed to do like Jaipur. There's a 3 deity like in outside Karoli. So I have done one day everything. So
Wow.
this is something, yeah, managed to do that as well. So yeah, so lots of like holy place pilgrims. Yeah, so it was amazing.
Sri Rangam also, right?
So yeah, Rangnath, yeah, and
Rangam.
Tirupati Balaji and Rameshwar and all this.
So you have gone to all places of India.
Yeah, so south, east, west, north, all like
Wonderful.
holy places. Yeah, most of them.
So
So
fortunate.
it's,
Is it a kind of a package or you went on your
no,
own?
no, no. It's just me and then friend and yeah, once I've done myself as well. Some of them. So as I said, like God arranged. I didn't plan anything, but it's just arranged everything so nicely.
She visited
And
the eco village also, Mataji.
yeah, in Bombay. Yeah. So, and Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, all these places as well.
Oh, it is not easy thing, Mataji, but you have done
Yeah.
kind of time.
So many places. And like as I say, like God mercy, so I managed to do it. But it was really nice. Yeah.
Very nice. Did you bring anything from those temples, Mataji, for us?
Sorry.
Did you bring anything from those temples?
Bring anything.
Blessings, something.
Blessings.
Oh, I see. Blessing. Yeah. Of course, I was like in everybody, like in every day. Wherever I go, I just think about everybody. So that was good.
That is the best thing. You just remember us when you do the darshan and everything. So it will
Mm,
get the mercy also to visit the dham.
yeah.
Thank you,
But
sir.
yeah, I didn't like fell sick or anything. It just happened everything so nicely. Which is something good. In
Will
Diwali day, we were in Ayodhya in Diwali day. So it's amazing in Ayodhya. Because it was first Diwali like after Ayodhya's like Ram Mandir opened, so it was really good. And there is
very nice.
and Jagannath Puri is just where Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj birthplace. So I stayed there, like Chaitanya Gaudiya Math. So that is also nice. So I done so many times darshan, like Jagannath darshan. So which is something good.
How many days it took, Mataji, totally for this travel?
And like I started like 28 October, then I came back just 2 days back. So yeah, so it's like 1.5 months. I have just done all these 2-3 days. I went to my parents' house, but mostly I just done all these pilgrim places.
So 6 weeks around.
Yeah, six to
And
around. Yeah.
what
But
could be
mostly I stayed in Vrindavan as well.
and what could be the approximate budget, Mataji, in case if we just plan according to the devotees?
Yeah, because I don't want to do expensive, so I have done bus and train and all this, you know, I took, so it was not like expensive at all, that much, because Indian rupees, if you count that way, so it's not that expensive. So I did not took like whole, like I was going individually. So yeah, this was not that expensive.
Will it be coming around 4 lakhs or 5 lakhs rupees?
No, not that much. I don't think it's not that much. It's less than that.
Maybe 2 lakhs or something like that.
Yeah, probably not even 2 lakhs, 2,000 pound. No, I don't think it's 2,000 pound. Yeah, probably one lakhs or 1.5 lakhs or something. Not 1 lakhs, but more than 1 lakhs. Yeah. because I didn't like we did not stay in like post hotel or anything like that. So sometimes like you do the day like Rangnath and things like that. So it's one day you can cover everything. So night again you go to the bypass. So like in a sleeping coach. So next day I reach the Rameshwar and things like that. So you need to stay in hotel as well sometimes.
Okay, so you make the journey in the night times so that you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
So one or two places like that in Dwarka, and like that is where my parents and all they live. So just go and like come back. So that is not that expensive as well. And Dakor and things like the well Ronchorai, like when Krishna just went, like it's called Ronchorai. So it's very near from Ahmedabad. So like 2 hours, things like that. But Jagannath Puri and Mayapur, I stayed a few days.
Very nice.
Did you travel alone, Mataji?
Some of them with friends and some I did myself. Yeah.
So, but you know India very well.
Yeah, I used to say
See,
like
I
Google.
would be, yeah, I'd be lost because I wouldn't know where to
No,
go.
no, because it's the Google, like you just look it on the Google and all the thing was, I said like Krishna arrange everything everywhere, like it's so nice.
Yeah,
So wherever I want to go is like it just happened so nicely.
yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah,
Mhm.
you have the intention, so Krishna led you.
Yeah, and Eco last I have done Govardhan Eco Village in Bombay, so that is very very beautiful. It's
That is beautiful. Yeah, I've been there.
yeah,
It's absolutely gorgeous. I'd like to live there actually.
yeah, it's so nicely.
It's all self-contained, isn't it?
Yeah, it is so nice.
Did you have some of the papaya?
No, I didn't. I just went for one day, so it's not gonna.
All right. Yeah, yeah,
But then the
Well,
one main thing I have managed to do, like Jaipur, there's three deity, like which is installed, like Madan Mohan and Gopinath, and that is something I which is something happened, which is really good. One day they said if you do the three deity, it's
yeah.
just very auspicious. So I managed to do that thoroughly as well.
So it was safe, really.
Yeah, it is safe.
What you do because you know the place very well and you know where to go and all that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. Beautiful feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing those pastimes, visiting.
Yeah. Mayapur, like they have Chandra, they already have like installed like this what do you call for the nursing asan and everything in Chandra, the temple they built up. So I think next year they just put like I heard that Narsinga they will be go on that temple next year.
So just one thing, Mataji. So in the temple of Vedic planetary, in the big one wing is open, Nasimha wing. Is that new deities or they are going to take the existing deity and install there?
Not existing. They will not do the new one. This is existing, which is in the right now when we are doing the darshan every day. The
Yeah.
same deity will go there, but they have made asan like this sihasan in Chandrodaya temple, like in the new temple.
Yes, and also when it was open before, was it the new deity or the existing deity only?
That I don't know, but I think it's the new deity probably. But they have still left it on the altar as it is. But I'm not sure about that 100%. But I knew that this deity will go to the new temple, the same deity which we're doing darshan.
Right, and also the
And
other Madhavan Ashtasakis, they are.
everything, yeah, everything, the deity which is there in the old temple will be go in the new temple. So that will never, nothing will be changed.
Okay.
Like, but they have made it so nicely, like it's like heaven type of things how they have made, like how it's just really nicely turn that Chandra, but it's not install everything, but they are doing the work in so many places. They are bringing like bricks from Europe and here and there, like tiles and so many different countries. Everything is coming. And there was Jay and Vijay, they have like, standing there as well, as you can see in the Vaikuntha.
Yeah.
So same concept they have made. So it will be, I think they say 2026 probably open.
Okay, yeah, 2026. All deities will be installed by 2026.
Yeah, but like in 2025, they at least do this nursing Bhagwan.
Okay.
This was they're talking, but might is a change. But it's beautiful, yeah. Date is so beautiful, all this Krishna, like, we can do darshan from here, was very beautiful, but when you go there, it's so nice.
Yes,
It's like to stand and not to move anywhere, it's so nice.
we are packed with all the devotees, all positive charge, and dancing and kirtan is going on very nicely.
Yeah, and it's always so crowded, like, so many people every time, each day. So it's something, so good.
It's every day busy. Is it?
Every day busy,
Every
yeah.
day busy. It's morning and then Mangalarti and everything.
Yeah,
We
all the
can
time.
do the darshan here when Prabhu is putting the light. So
Yeah.
every time is very busy.
Mm.
See,
I see, from here also we can see so beautiful, but when you go there near, it's just like so nice.
it's different because it's face to face.
Very nice. Okay, so thank you so much, Meena Mataji, for sharing all the pastimes.
Yeah, and also Jagannath Puri, I also went, like, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has, like, Leela stalls, like Haridas Thakur's, and, all these things. All these, places as well. That is also like, you feel like, that how Haridas Thakur's, like, tea and all these things, so you feel like vibration, everything. How many times they have chanted, like he has chanted there, so it's really nice.
Very nice, beautiful. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, if you're all happy, then we shall conclude and continue with our japa. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो
Vishnu Namo Namaha. Ratakut Vaishnavi Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Happy Ekadasi.
Ekadasi, yes.
Ekadasi.